Hey, folks, I'm going to hang out for a little bit. Got a few things I want to show and share. We'll see. Oh, there's somebody already. Oh, my goodness. Comments. Nope, turn on the comments. Ungar. I'm starting the show. Relax. I gotta opening, unwrapping. I'm gonna wait till a few other folks get here. Jeez Louise, how's my sound? Is it all right? I'm wearing a headset. Hopefully it sounds okay. Josh, don't worry. I'll send some invites. Don't worry. Shadow, don't worry. Invites are coming. I just want to open up this bit of miniatures. Oh, let me. Iron Man, thank you, buddy. Don't worry. Your package is coming soon enough. Here we go. Here's the link. Lucky, I just figured out how to do this, so hopefully people can show up. Yeah, now grab your quick lunch, Mr. Max. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yeah, we'll carry on with what we were blabbering about and ranting about over at Hungar's live stream. But anyways, I got some Coruscant miniatures. They're out of New York, state of New York, here in the U.S. 15 millimeter, of course. Very nice miniatures, very nice molds. I got a good handful of them. This is the first round. Metal. Hi, pal. It's one of my cats. Very affordable. Ooh, he's coming. Look. Dun. There's pal. There's pal. He's a good boy. He was a stray. Brought him in, got him cleaned up, fixed up. He is a gentle giant. 11 pounds. He's a good boy. Oh, come on in here.
Hello, good sir. Hey.
Hello.
Come on in here.
Long time
Hello.
no see, Mr. Max.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh,
Thank you for having me, Squirrel.
Hey, no problem. Good to have all you guys on. Yeah, I got some 15 millimeter miniatures here.
Toys.
Oh, 15 millimeter? That's the scary doing?
Yes, I love 15 millimeters. They just, I don't know. I just like them. They take up less space on the table, and they get the point across.
Like, to be honest, like I'm like I don't do miniature that much, but the one I have like all like 28 millimeter. But if it was to do again, I would go 15 because it allows you to do like so much like bigger battle scene, like huge much more like terrain, stuff like that. Yeah, that's the way to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I like 15 as well for mass battles and stuff, but for skirmish games, I like model scale, like what's it, 70
172. Yeah, 172. Like the old Airfix. Like old Airfix?
Like Airfix, or like getting like a dragon, like especially if you're doing sci-fi, you can just get like some modern military or SWAT forces and paint them up. Those kits are cheap and you can mix and match the parts between different services.
Yeah.
Hey, Squirrel, did you get a chance to read that Arduin book I sent you?
You're muted, Squirrel.
You're muted, Squirrel. So 172, so that's a bigger miniature?
That's model kits, you know, like
yeah.
But if you're doing like a 4-man like tactical unit or something like that, you don't need a lot of space. You're playing on a 1.5, 2 foot square table.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking wargaming more than role playing, right? But if you're doing really small scale model counts, having larger pieces doesn't
But
really matter.
if you do like with vehicle and stuff like that, oftentimes like fight should happen like at a greater distance, though. No.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more like urban assault, right?
Yeah.
So even if you're doing vehicle, it's you
Oh,
have
yeah,
to get
yeah.
up closer because the buildings are in the way, right?
In the way, yeah, you just shoot through them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You just shoot through them. Yeah, brick walls are fun.
yeah, but like sometimes I look at that. I not anymore, not much, not so much anymore. Oh, we can hear you now, Squirrel.
Can we?
I think so. Squirrel? Oh, maybe not. Okay,
Yeah,
no.
he's
I guess it
got
wasn't.
that
I thought
going.
I got that. Maybe it was the sound was from you. So I would look at a board game on with miniature, on Kickstarter and stuff like that. And some of them would say like, "Oh, the miniature like are 32 millimeter scale," and say like, "Why the fuck you do that, you fucking idiot?" Like every fucking body use 28 millimeter. If your games suck, I can always say like, you know what? Maybe I take a risk on the game. If it sucks, the minis are cool. I'll be able to use them for some other shit, But now you fucking made your scale bigger that I can do that, So.
Yeah. Oh, I see what happened. You switched to the wrong camera when you're still muted though.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, but like the miniatures I'm talking about are literally off the shelf. There are hundreds of companies that make them.
Hello.
Hey, there you are.
There you go.
Hey. All right. Cool.
So what'd you think of the Arduin book?
I liked it. So far. It's a fun read. I appreciate it. I really do. I like.
Yeah.
Like I can see why you. The setting's neat. I like it.
Yeah, the guy was an amazing guy. He was a Vietnam combat photographer and did some other military stuff. Got out right when Dungeons and Dragons was starting. Wrote literally the first supplement to D&D outside of TSR Hobbies, and got in a little trouble, so he decided to make his own thing. And unfortunately, he passed away at a very, very young age, even though he wrote tens of thousands of pages worth of stuff that the company I work with is bringing back to life. Hundreds of modules he wrote, adventures, just the craziest amount of stuff you can imagine. And my buddy's got a hold of it all, and they're bringing it back. And it's got a really unique take on a lot of different things. He's a big, huge history scholar and brought all of that in, but found a way to make it incredibly unique. As a matter of fact, it's the only game that's being printed other than like specifically religious games that actually brings Christianity into the game. It's not like a huge part. It's just off over here. There's some Christians that actually came from Earth to the world, and yep, they're there. So deal with it. As well as cultures and things from other parts of Earth, other worlds. It's just the most amazing setting I've ever been a part of, and the game rules that he came up with make a lot more sense than anything else I've ever read.
Yeah, they are neat. The book you sent so far. I've read probably,
mind you, that's book like 8 out of 10.
Yes, I've heard of Arduin and heard of the author through there's a YouTube channel I watch called The Old Warlock.
Oh, really?
It's a father and son deal. It's a neat, and they go.
No,
with
I'm familiar with
stuff.
Yeah,
older D&D stuff, and they brought him up and said something about that quite some time ago, so that kind of piqued my interest. And then I heard you speaking about him. I'm like, okay, all right. So I appreciate it.
Flying sharks are just a little too gonzo for me.
What about land shark?
Land shark?
Like the bullet?
Trust me, there's nothing like the look of your players when they bash open a door and facing them are like half a dozen great whites. Trust me. Nobody expects that.
Yeah, for a good reason. They should never come across it. There are lines you do not cross. And one of them is floating freaking sharks.
No,
Unless
love
they're in water. Oh.
But
So, Squirrel, did you reach out to? We can't read that.
Yeah.
Can read what?
Yeah, you
You're
did
all
it.
muted again. You switched back over to the other camera.
Trying to get this thing right.
Yeah.
How about now?
Now we can
Yeah,
hear you.
that's the
good.
one we need you on.
All
Did
right,
you
well, then
go
I'm
check
done.
out?
I'm done with
did
this.
you reach out to Splintered Light?
No, I'm kidding.
Did you reach out
I'm
to
kidding.
Splintered Light yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, get on it, man.
You're right. I will. I should.
You love 15 millimeter like I do. It's just
I know
a little-
Splintered Light.
they make
I
some
know
of the
them.
best 15s out there.
Yep, I have ordered. I have a handful of their miniatures. I've ordered them. Very, very good detail. Almost too much.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
almost
too
like
much detail.
yeah. Well, for a 15 millimeter, I mean, come on.
No,
You know.
it becomes impossible
But-
to paint.
Yeah, but
That's why
they're
you gotta
still
get a microscope like I did.
their quality and the price is good.
cheap.
So, or you get one of these.
I almost bought in a.
I have something similar, but yeah,
I almost bought an
20 bucks
electronic
different lenses.
microscope not too long ago for painting.
yeah, I have one.
You
I have one, but I don't use it.
You put the camera down and you paint by watching the TV.
Oh no, not that kind. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. You can do that, and it gives you, that
Yeah,
little
that sounds
15
like it'll give you
millimeter
a
is
headache
now
after
2
a
feet
while.
tall.
But then you still have like to need like the manual dexterity, just like get those little spots. Yeah. If you got like shaky hand, or if you're fat finger, I don't know, might be hard.
Yeah.
It's called exercise, bro. Get swole.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I should get to it, man.
Chop, chop, right? Jeez.
Agreed, Beelzebubba. Why aren't you in here, man?
Turn the chat on.
Yeah, there's an invite over there. I can do up to 10 people on mine. Ooh.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
That's
You're
it.
actually
Yeah.
paid.
I paid a $50 a month. I'm rolling in it.
50
Yeah.
bucks
50
a
bucks.
month.
Really?
No, I don't think it's that much.
I thought it was like
It is.
25.
It's
But
40.
whatever
Beelzebubba's
it
a
is.
Oh,
great
it's
guy.
45. I
Yeah,
know.
Beelzebubba's a great guy.
Whatever.
There's two tier. There's like the 25, I think, allows you to go up to
Oh.
6 people, and then there's the other tier. I think it's 40. And allows you
whatever.
to-
I got the max one, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Hey, what's on your shirt, man? I keep seeing an
It's-
eyeball.
It's a Gary Con.
Oh,
Last,
okay.
Oh.
the last
I
Gary
just
Con.
see a big yellow shirt with a white eyeball on it.
The last
Yeah.
Gary Con I went to this
Yeah.
past March. Me and my son and I,
school.
we go. There you go. My son and I, we go to that
Yeah.
every year. It's a father-son kind of deal, and yeah, we have fun. It's a good
Okay.
time.
I got
I
my
can't
name
wait
on
to take my
on
boy to his
shirt.
first con, man.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to be running a con probably in 2025.
Oh, really?
Somewhere in Texas.
Yeah.
Speaking of the boy, he just showed up. Just
Hey,
in
bud.
time to start.
Tell him
Yeah,
to go
he's
mow the
not-
lawn.
It's about that time. Hey, what's up? Say hey to Squirrel. Hey, guys.
Hello?
Hi, buddy.
Hey.
Kid.
Can you
How's
hear us?
school?
Oh, yeah.
Fine,
good.
young lad. Yeah, my
Thanks.
son should be well. Now he's got about a half hour.
You missed on our show, so we went over to Squirrels afterwards.
Yeah.
He says,
Yeah. He's more than welcome to hop on if he wants.
Uh,
So
So yeah, I was
Yeah.
talking about this. I was talking to this Indian
Indian
girl who's sick,
Ready.
like the region, not the eel.
Oh, right. He got the
Yeah.
feathered, I thought.
native.
And so we're talking about Pendragon and stuff
No,
like
we
that. And, I
say
said, like,
feather.
and the new Pendragon, like, is Pendragon always had like make this exception. Well, if you want to play a female knight, you probably shouldn't. But if you want to do it, we reconsider. But if you're sure, like they used to be like that, And now,
I
like in the new
understand that.
edition, like they're much more like permissive about it. And I was thinking
Yeah.
like that's a mistake because it takes away a big thing of what Pendragon is about, where everybody play a human knight. and then you have to look for something else to distinguish your character. So that's why I was say like playing Pendragon is going to make you a better role player, because then you have to focus on personality, you have to focus on what you care about and your goal and stuff like that. And
I agree that like
Some games can.
It shouldn't be a norm, but like Brianna Tarth from A Song of Fire was a great character. Like,
but then also like being a female, being a female is who your character is. You know, it becomes such a big part of your character, and it becomes like a. But anyway, she's telling that we know we come from a Sikh background, and we all have had a female warrior, which is the Sikh. The Sikh make no distinction between male and female. They think they're the same.
And if you're playing in that culture group, if you wrote that supplement, damn you.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Yeah, so you know what? Like Pendragon is a
European setting.
It's a Christian. It's not only like European. It's very Christian. You know.
Yeah. So those distinctions
it would be cool.
I shall return. Carry on.
Yeah.
All right. It would be cool to have like a Pendragon like game for different fucking culture. You know, why not make a Pendragon game like that is in India with Indian myth, and one in China, and one in Japan, and one in Persia, whatever. You know, it's like that'd be fucking cool.
Have them use the same system.
Yeah.
So they're standalone games, but
exactly
they can be used together.
Yeah, the same system. You just find your own like hero that you want to explore, whatever that is, Gilgamesh or whatever.
If you have a party in Pendragon European book, right, and you're done your adventure there, and your party is like, I don't know, 6 months, a year later, wanting to explore the East, you can pick up the next book on the path of that world and have the party playing and interacting with those people. And if you have a new player or somebody dies, they can pick up a character from that book instead of
you could do that, but I think also like Pendragon is like a lot about like this generational play. You know, you play a character in that setting, and then you get an heir, and then you place children and stuff like that, and then grandchildren at some point.
Well, but that could happen as well, right?
If you start like a campaign in like, let's say like in India, just because I was talking with this Indian chicks, you know, like that'd be fucking cool, because then you get to experience how it is. Like the social norm there, like how it is to raise a family in that setting, the nobility, like the caste system, whatever they have, you know, you make the equivalence, like what they value.
You don't learn every historical thing from that culture, but you get the vibe of it.
You get the vibe. You
need. Right? Like that's when I hear people complaining about, well, they didn't write the culture exactly the way it is. No, it's a fantasy setting.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you read the European book, the culture isn't the exact same either. Yeah. Every historical myth is not one for one the way it was in reality.
I think in that type of game, like it'd be like important that they like make it fantastical, but make it with their fantasy as that they have. You know what I mean? Like don't try to make it like make it as authentic as you can, and with flaws and art, like words and all. You know what I mean? Like don't try to make it like look better than it was. Don't try to make it look worse. I think that would be very cool. Like try to be a little bit authentic.
Well, it's like that
from those places.
That thing you said on Hungar Show on Monday with the 100-year-old Japanese objects.
Yeah,
you wouldn't put that in a European setting book. You'd put that in a Japanese setting book.
Yeah.
Yes. Even if it was compatible with a European setting book, objects from Europe wouldn't have that. Objects from Japan would have that. So even if you're playing,
like Kitsugi,
Greg, the Knight of the House of Ulster, but you're using a katana because it came to you through trade, it would have the mythical properties of that cultural book. Yep. And thus you'd have to use it that way.
What kind of magic system is there in Pendragon, if any?
Well, the player, like there's not really one. Like there's some supplement that are by default there's none. Because magic are not for the player character. There's only for like the GM.
NPCs, yeah.
Like a Merlin type character.
There's Merlin's in there, and Merlin can just basically do whatever he wants. You know, there's no like hard magic system because it's not needed. Like, you know, he does what it needs to be done.
Gotcha. Well, what kind of supernatural threats would there be?
There's giant. There's like troll, and there's like there can be like some dragons, some unicorns, some fays, stuff like that.
Anything from Arthurian myth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The closest you get to it is alchemy, no?
What?
The closest you get to magic would be alchemy as a player character, like
He's still
herbs and.
Why you? Not
I don't
even.
know.
You're not
Not
supposed to
even
do
that.
it. You're not supposed to do it as a knight.
Yeah,
you're not
it's
supposed to?
sorcery and sorcery.
No,
is-
yeah, that's forbidden.
antithetical
Yeah.
to
Okay.
Christianity.
Like I've never read the books, so
Yeah,
I
because
don't-
there's even some skill that exists in the game that if you get
Blade.
caught doing as a knight, it's kind of like
Burn, you're done.
You're gonna lose.
Yeah,
honor,
yeah. I assume that you have to be pretty well versed in the Bible to run a game like that.
Well,
Not really.
Not really, but it's implied that you're Christian. You
Yeah.
can
Yes.
play some pagan because you start like in the early 5th century or mid 5th century usually.
Depends on what
So you-
timeline you start.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but like by the default, you start in mid 5th century. So there's still like some people that are, but like eventually like, you should probably like convert, like or your son are gonna convert, something like stuff like that.
Pretty much all.
Yes, and that's one thing I did enjoy about Pendragon was lineage, bloodlines.
Yeah.
You're concerned
Yeah.
about your family, your sons.
I mean,
Yeah, I think that's very cool.
That should be
I
a
do
given
like
in
that.
any good
I mean, that's one
RPG. You know,
very much thing.
the trope of playing I'm an orphan, I have no family, therefore I don't have to worry about that crap. It's just lazy
Yeah.
players and sometimes
Well-
lazy GM. That's why I like the social standing table I was talking about in the other show, because it shows you not just what kind of family you come from, but it does have you roll up how many siblings you have and all of that.
Hackmaster does that, and Harnmaster does that.
Well, that gets back
Good
to
for
our conversation over on Hungar stream about your inventory, the stuff you start with. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm just saying. No, you shouldn't be deducting from gold. No, you shouldn't be having to select through a list. There should be like a list of stuff. You have this at the beginning of the game. Full stop. No exceptions. Doesn't matter how much stuff. How much gold you have, because it's around you at
I
your
agree
house.
with that to a point. Yep, I agree with
Right,
that to
like-
a point.
like-
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like,
especially if you aren't like an abject, pauper. If
Yeah,
you have
that's
a
what I'm
family-
saying. Like, if you weren't an orphan being kicked out of the orphanage at 12.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Well, I'm playing
I
I'm
agree.
playing a
To a
CNC
point, I do
game
agree.
with a bunch of
Yeah.
guys, including Bloodworth, and there's a great RP role player, Breeze, and he's playing a monk, and
Yeah.
he literally wanted to start out with like no money and like the minimum gold for gear and stuff, no shoes, just and he's playing it really really interestingly,
Well,
and
I'm
that's-
asking you, how many, like, as a prepper, right? You're a prepper, dude.
yeah.
How many baseline objects would you say you need for one of those bags that everyone just has in their house already? Like a
Dude, I could
backpack.
do it for
Everyone
hours and
already has a
hours.
backpack.
People has different
Yeah, I've
priorities.
got like 6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah,
know
but
what I mean. like-
everyone has a backpack now.
but back
don't
then,
know if it
everyone
was-
had a backpack more because
Well, maybe we just had like a basket,
Or
Yeah.
with
satchel.
some,
Well,
with some strap.
Satchels were pretty common.
it's
a
not
side
just
Have
it's not just everyone had a backpack. Everybody knew how to make a backpack.
Yeah,
bag. It's true.
yeah. But we have like nowadays like much more shit than the common people back then as well.
But
Yeah, but even
you get what
I
I'm
don't
getting
leave
at,
my house.
though, right?
I don't even leave my house without like 15 different things in my pockets, so to speak.
Yeah.
Just going to the freaking store, just because
You
that's
think
you
people
never
didn't
know.
carry stuff around back in the medieval times?
I think everybody
Well,
like
you
had,
know what, to be
would carry
honest-
around a knife.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's
Yeah.
about all you need, because you knew how to make a whole bunch of stuff with just a knife.
Yeah.
Maybe it depends on how far you were traveling from your home.
Yes.
That's the thing. Because you can always just run back home and get a pot or a bucket if you needed it.
But stuff like rope was fucking expensive, and rope is heavy, especially like when you have like the old.
Yes,
good
that
old
would be
hemp
something
rope.
you
Yeah.
wouldn't just have unless you lived on a farm or something like that. Sorry, you lived on a farm, you probably knew how to make rope.
Yeah.
Let alone have it.
Yeah. Rope is actually two
You're not-
hand wave in the gaming community. Rope is freaking not just this thin magical
I'm
freaking strands of
talking.
stuff that does everything you need.
Yeah.
I'm talking about fiber rope. It's made from straw for the most part, man.
Yeah. It's not that hard to make, but it's very time consuming.
Yeah, just look at Castaway. You know how much time they spent in that movie on him having to do it. You know, counting out how long it would take. You know,
well, that movie is not a good example of how to make rope.
well,
I
it
don't
gives
know,
you
I don't know.
the basics. There aren't too many movies that actually went into any detail whatsoever. It's just hand waved, and that's go out and buy some and see.
I have a piece of fucking rope right here. Like,
I'm talking to the audience.
okay,
If
Oh,
you're
I
good
got
at
some,
it, it's fine.
I got some rope, handmade rope, not too far.
Before a game, I prefer to let them roll, and I'll have like bundle packages. The only thing
yeah, like a bundle package of stuff
Clothing.
that you should have.
some
Yeah.
cutlery.
How do you feel about the abstracted wealth and abstracted resource in games? Like that's something that Burning Wheel does. I like it in
Yes.
some game. I don't like it in others.
Yeah.
I don't want to die roll to determine what I did with my money.
Yeah,
I
I
hate
No,
that.
I'm-
Forbidden
it's not-
Lands
it's not-
has something like
I wanna
that
keep them
too.
thirsty
Forbidden
for-
Lands.
Yeah.
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 That
It's
way
not-
they
it's
have
not just-
incentive to go do stuff.
Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Well, I can keep them thirsty for coin. That way, gears something they aspire to, and they have to be active.
That can be done without arbitrarily doing it.
Because the
There's
thing-
fair and logical ways to do it, as opposed to I just want you poor, so I'm doing this. Because the
not-
players see right through that.
The roll is the
I'm not talking about doing it like randomly, like determining your wealth randomly. Like what Burning Wheel does, for example, is like you have like a resource stat, basically like a
Yes.
level of wealth that you have. And if you want to acquire something that is, and it's kind of like logarithmic. So if you want to acquire something that is below, I might be fuzzy on the detail, but below your resource stat, like let's say your resource stat is a 3, you want to get something that would be like in a 2, you just get it. It doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah,
And then you
that's
can get something that is in your resource stat, and then you have to roll. And then you can get something that's above, but then your resource stat is gonna drop.
as a resource.
Like your 2 is gonna become a 2
Yeah.
because
I've
like
been playing with
you
it for a
spend too
month,
much.
Never made one single resource roll. It's just
Sorry?
not- Wretched does a resource roll where your
does it?
creation standing and you get pluses, and
Yeah.
we've been playing with them for months and never made a single roll. It's just I think the resource rolls like Fast Rip did it for Marvel, where you had a resource rank and then two ranks below was automatic, and
Yeah.
anything higher you made a roll for it.
Yeah,
But
something
it
like
never-
that. And then your rank can drop.
Yeah, but it never put a limit how many times you make that roll. So if I'm excellent income or whatever, you can just keep rolling, which I think also seemed kind of unrealistic.
Yeah, maybe it goes down after so many. Like you go down a
Failures.
stat after
You have to
so
because it was
many.
never built into mechanics. But I mean,
Well-
it was a single game, so who cared?
I don't. Do you remember Squirrel? Is it like in Burning Wheel? Is it like if you roll and you fail, you still get what you were after, but then your rank drop? I think.
Your rank drops I think by 2 instead of 1
Oh,
because you
Oh,
fail.
yeah.
What's up, Arn? I just saw
I
you in
think-
the chat. How's it going, buddy?
I got
Yeah.
the book upstairs. I can grab
Did
it
it
real quick.
regenerate?
my books are all in the box now, so
but does that resource regenerate after X time in game or something, or is it?
you can get
Yes.
if you get treasure and stuff like that, you can get bonus dice as well, I believe.
Oh,
Yes.
I see.
And you can increase your rank through role play and stuff like that.
So
Yeah,
one
true
extra
story,
die
but-
for every pillow you loot from a dungeon.
Well, it wouldn't be for a
kinda, but
pillow.
not really.
Yeah.
I mean, so-
Kind of, but not really.
Justin and his freaking pillows.
And if you make a test and you fail, your kind of cash dice goes first, and also they do the same thing with the relation that you have, people that you
Yes.
know, important people that you know.
Social.
You have like circle, they call it circle. So if you want to,
Social circles.
I think I know a guy. I'm gonna try to pull up a favor. You can roll for it. Maybe you do have something, but in your circle.
Yeah.
or maybe maybe you can piss off somebody and it's not on your circle anymore, and your circle gets lower, whatever. There's stuff like that you can do. So there's like a lot of interesting idea in that game.
I highly recommend Burning Wheel for, again, you'll just it'll get your brain thinking, even when it comes to your standard D&D, AD&D, whatever it is. It's good. It's good for inspiration, thoughts, ideas. It really, really, really is.
Seriously, if you know where I can get a copy of it, matey.
I wouldn't know.
I've looked, man.
I've got 100 PDFs and 1,000 books. I'm trying to muddle my way through. Offering up
this
a new one.
This
going to get put on the stack.
Really worth it, though, in my opinion. But Burning anyways, Wheel, Burning Wheel. Yeah, look into it if you're interested. If not, hey, whatever.
Well, you guys say it's worth the intellectual read.
It is. Like, do you not agree, Mr. Max?
He's looking for a place to. You're still muted, bro.
That's right.
Yeah, I would agree for that. Like, if you're into that kind of thing, if you're into like I love reading rules. I love thinking about game design. If you're into that, absolutely, you need to read Burning Wheel.
Now, you said it had a life path system.
Yes,
for character
something like that. Yeah,
and I said a lot. Like, I would say, like, I think Burning Wheel got a lot of issue. I wouldn't recommend people to try to play it as is, but I would still say it's the game that influenced the most the game I'm writing. It's the biggest influence in the game I'm writing.
Even though I'm not writing a game, it influenced a lot of my DMing, my approach to gaming as a player as well as a DM. It really,
I'm thinking about writing a game. That's all I'm doing.
I mean, the game we play at the table, it's kind of my own game, but I don't have any rules written because, whatever.
It's just half the people I speak to are writing a fucking game, so
I'm gonna do something.
It's part of the fun of the creative process, though. We're all creative nuts in some form or fashion.
Yeah, I'm actually working with like 3 different companies, helping them, produce their product. But the one thing nobody else is doing is making new worlds. And mind you, I'm not making like super gonzo worlds. The first
you got flying super sharks.
The first world I'm working on,
lasers on their freaking heads.
No, not yet. The first world I'm working on is like Hoth. It's a total ice ball. Okay, there are some pockets of things here and there, and it's really I wanted to start with this one because it's as bleak and monochromatic as possible, and I want to find a way just to make it moderately interesting for both either sci-fi or fantasy, because that's how
it sounds a lot like Burning Sun but cold. So I want to kick you in the nads.
I started this project before I ever read Dark Sun.
Dark Sun.
It had nothing to do with that.
Whatever.
I just wanted to start with something simple and go from there. I've got 11 worlds I'm working on, and I'm going to do one world per book. There, maybe 50 pages, 25 sci-fi, 25 fantasy. So when you randomly need, a world, whether you're planescaping or planet hopping or whatever, you've got one, and you've got a couple of reasons to go check it out, and just at a moment's notice you can just go, okay, here's a quick world, instead of just trying to just minimalize it to a single sheet of paper and people go, oh, okay, well, we're leaving. Give them a reason to hang out here for a bit and experience whatever it is that this world or that world has to offer, and just try to make it a memorable experience without it being identical to every other world out there.
Cookie cutter. Yep.
Well, I think that's a big part of the success of Morkborg, is it doesn't feel like any.
No, Morkborg is neat. I like it.
Yeah, it's a
good con game. I've played it several times at Gary Con, and
I've only heard it mentioned. I've never read a single sentence about it.
It's a great con game. It's a great 1-2 shot type deal, 3 shot. You know what I mean? Because. Well, Justin, you've read it. It's not set up for long-term campaign, anyways.
No,
the world is going to end. Like
you can like I could easily see if your party moves through a scenario and survives completely, I would let them roll to remove one of the psalms instead of add another one, and that could prolong the world and maybe even restore it to health. Right? If you remove all the psalms, you
if
can
you
kill the
wanted to, yeah.
basilisk and
If you wanted to, but
save the world.
I mean, the way it's set up, though,
The way
come
it's
on.
set up, no.
You know
it's
your
an
kaputs eventually, so it's kind of a.
it's an end of the day's it's an end of days story. But if
It's
you
part of
wanted
the buy-in, though,
if you
that way,
wanted to prolong and give an option for a good outcome, that's like a very easy right for it. That's all I'm
yeah,
saying.
you could, but part of, like, you can agree, part of the whole buy-in of that setting, the system, is you're all in.
Yeah.
You're gonna, it's like, oh man, I want to save this for later. No, you're all in. It's all or nothing, which that's part of what makes it a very, very good convention game, very good con game. Because
and if like the way I could see it is, if say one of your players couldn't make it for a little while, the rest of you could play one psalm in that game, and then if someone else couldn't make it for a couple of months, maybe they're off on vacation or whatever, the rest of your party could play another psalm.
What game are you talking about? I had a phone call. I'm sorry, guys.
Morkborg.
Morkborg.
Oh, Morkborg. Oh,
yeah. The one that matches the color scheme of
the
name text.
Yeah.
I still don't know anything about the game.
You should get it. It's about 80 pages in its story and rules, and then it's got a dungeon scenario at the end.
Again, I still don't know anything about it. What? Give me a elevator pitch. What is
this?
That's it right there.
Is it OSR? Is it like a D20?
It says OSR, but
it says OSR, but I got all kinds of stuff for it because I really like it. I enjoy the setting. I enjoyed the whole feel.
Yeah, you just need that first book.
This one right here.
Yeah, you just need that book.
Blind. So it's another fantasy RPG.
Yeah.
Middle Ages kind of.
No, not Middle Ages.
It's post-apocalyptic.
But it's more like Gothic France.
It's a
Gothic Germany.
It's end of times. Like when he was talking about the Psalms. Where is it? It should be here fairly quick.
Just think of medieval France. They started breaking the seals and the trumpet sound.
Yes.
Okay, that actually tells me more than anything.
Always has to be the French.
Yeah, well, the art invokes the French to me, but
something like that. Like
it's like Lamentation from Princess is like in France by default, like 17th century France as well.
Yeah,
by default.
well, but there's no default year in this either. There's no. The setting is sort of ambiguous, but not. Like you have these Psalms. The game master rolls a die each dawn. A result of one activates one misery. The die is used determined by the GM and the group. When the DM rolls a D66 to determine which misery occurs, the same misery will not befall the world twice.
What do you think of people that say, "Oh, it should be pronounced Morkbury"?
It's annoying. There's a
fuck man, it's fucking annoying. Yeah. Especially like they make like what did they call like when they make like the version with for the cyberpunk one?
Yeah.
Cyborg.
Huh? Yeah. Cyborg. Yeah.
So, but is that supposed to be pronounced like Sagbui? You know what I mean? Like
no, because that supplement wasn't created by the original authors.
Oh, really? I thought it was.
Like they have a very open license with their game engine. You could just create something, and
it reminds me of like Lamentations. It's a game made for masochists.
Yeah,
well, there isn't be punished.
It's a dark world. I think more it's more fun. Like have fun with it, right? Like
yeah.
It's an all-in kind of game, like I was saying. It's because
I think the games don't have an end run though. They're like that classical fantasy where you're thinking about being a patron later on and stuff. That's
no. This one you actually get to roll when the world will end. For the campaign, no matter what the characters do, period.
It is just an uphill struggle.
So you just role play like the end of the world.
Yeah, like,
Kinda.
but that's why I said it. Like,
So
it's
we're
very
already
easy.
there.
It's very easy
Again.
to the weapons list.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
the
why I
weapon-
was
that's,
saying,
that's
like,
the actual weapons list right there. That's the
Yes,
I
actual.
was actually
weapons
looking
list.
at carrier
Just like-
movements and weapons.
Wow, they needed some
So
freaking
I'm
serious
pretty impressed.
psychiatric help.
well,
Yeah.
you can barely
Just a
see it,
scratch.
but you can barely see it, but beside every weapon going into the body is
It's the damage listed.
its name and what it does.
But
And on the page next to it, it just has one giant femur.
to be honest, like that's one thing that kept me away from Morgborg, because like I like they put so much effort in the substance. They always give me like the feel, and like now I'm trying to overcome that because like you just don't keep talking about me too.
Yeah,
You won't
but
shut
like
up about it.
Again,
every
it's a fun
single-
1 or 2 shot game. It really is.
every single bit of art and text choice feeds into the lore of the world.
Yeah.
I don't like
That's,
the
that's
art.
the miniatures rules.
It's like,
Yeah,
Always
if you
like
wanna
felt
play
to
a
me like he
Warhammer
was like a substance over like like you know,
that's
appearance over
Style over
substance. You know, like,
substance, you mean?
that
yes,
is
yeah, style over substance. That's what I was looking for.
that is deceptive about the game. It's very deceptive because all of that style feeds
What?
into. I said it's very deceptive about the game because all of that style feeds into the substance.
Yeah.
Like at first glance, it looks like just an art book, but as
Yeah,
you
art
start
punk
looking,
like game.
as you start looking through it, you realize that art is like describing the rules and mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
And the way you do things. If you're not
It's
paying
worth a look.
attention,
See,
if you're not paying attention to what you're looking at, you're missing half of the mechanical structure of the game.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
that's
the
the
fact that I'm
character
not a
sheet.
very visual guy doesn't help either.
one-sided.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the
Very
simple,
simple.
but most of it just
Maybe I'll pick it up at some point.
doesn't move
Yeah.
me.
It's well worth it just on an education of marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I can already
It-
guarantee
it-
that I'll never own that unless somebody gives it to me.
It
I
definitely
recommend it. It's not expensive. It's very quick to read.
it grabs
If
your
it's not
eye. That's
free,
for
I'm
sure.
on a budget now, and I'm gotten really
Actually, it is free. You can go on their website and get the whole thing for free.
Yeah, I'm only buying OSE, Gillespie shit, and wretched stuff right now.
Like
Yeah,
I said,
OSE's good.
You can
I
go on
got,
their website and get it for free. So.
Speaking to you,
Yeah, I'm only
DMBA,
buying
Bubba,
firearms and bullets right now, guys.
I backed that Dolmenwood
Try hard.
Kickstarter. You?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I haven't backed anything. Well,
The what
Yeah.
Kickstarter?
Dolmenwood.
backed anything while I just wait till it comes out and then jump.
I
on it.
backed Makoto, and I'll
did you?
back Axe 2
Okay.
most likely.
Yeah, I thought about that, but it was just expensive at the time.
Yeah.
For me. I just got.
Yeah, that's something like people like go fucking insane with price of books now and price of fucking PDF nowadays.
Yeah, PDF.
Yeah,
The cost of
see,
PDF really gets me because it's a
Yeah.
digital thing that just instantly replicates. There's-
You need to pay for fucking server storage, and I understand server storage costing a lot of money.
Costing a lot of money? Fuck's sake, man.
for
Come on.
like a
Oh
Stephen
my
King
God.
book because you got to pay
Yeah.
for
The lights, the heating,
bandwidth.
you know, it's kind of like
the
your,
bandwidth for
your
people
self-storage,
downloading
you know, it's like your
fucking the
self-storage
stand
where
or
you,
something.
where you keep
but
your shelves and
But that's
Oh.
pennies per copy.
I
Yes.
know.
yeah, but you're not having that problem with mainstream role-playing games as you would with like a novel that's from a best-selling author.
No.
So why are you trying to charge me more than a 600-page book by fucking Stephen King?
Yeah, you know, you probably already have a website,
That's
and the traffic's probably gonna low enough that your website won't fuck with you, like for people downloading it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Sit down.
Yeah, PDFs I don't get. The price I don't.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
the problem is that people pay that. People are willing to pay it. You know, it's like
yeah.
Well,
Fuck's
you
sake.
gotta realize the demographic who is doing that. They're probably people younger than all of us here, and
so?
they're not familiar with actually owning books. They're not.
yeah.
They're so used to this and
Yeah,
paying
true.
Well,
microtransactions That's just the whole mentality. And part of the problem with the world right now, you'll own nothing and be happier. Well, they're making it happen.
Well, even the guy that said that was saying it was a bad thing and we should be doing to avoid it. Like that actual talk was about building structures to prevent that from happening.
Yeah. I have a different thing about that. I think
maybe that's the case with that individual, but there are too many other people that latched onto it and went, yeah, that's exactly what we want. We can make a huge profit by doing almost nothing.
I think like you will own nothing and you'll be happy is not a bad advice, because your happiness shouldn't depend on the thing that you own. And at some point you own the thing because they'll take everything away from you, but you should still be happy. Find happiness.
Mr. Max, the point of the structure is not that you'll own nothing and be happy. It's that you will rent everything and we will own you.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a polite way of saying that.
But I think it should just consume. We should just consume less.
Yeah,
I have always lived by he with the most toys wins. Sorry, that's the kind of guy I am.
Yeah,
it's weird. I collect books and titles, but I don't buy books. All my RPG stuff is PDF.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, I mean I collect books and vinyl like crazy, but my RPGs I don't do table games as much anymore. It's online, so I just do PDFs.
Oh. Even for online game, I prefer having the book. I find they're faster than maybe because I'm used this way, but
I like having them because of
I don't like the idea of being reliant on electricity to read a book. I'll read my book.
I know electricity's out, but one thing I'm not worried about is gaming. It's killing people.
Well, like where I live here, I live in rural Canada, so like that's third world. So we often have.
What are you talking? That's second world. You want third world? Go to industrial America.
But we often have like in the winter we sometimes have like power outage for like 2 days, 3 days, stuff like that.
Here in Appalachia too, but not as much as it used to happen.
Yeah, I think physical books give you something to do.
Well, I have tons of those, but just not gaming.
Yeah, if the power goes out, I got way more to worry about than playing games.
Yeah, first thing goes out my window. It's like, okay.
Yeah. You're going full Blabbery if the power goes out.
It's going to be back in 2 days.
It's
there like with fucking John Rambo with the guns out, like hey, it's just a trip on the line.
Yeah. Before the power,
a hiccup on the grid. It's a hiccup on the grid. It'll be back on in a couple hours.
Ice storm.
All right. I was talking about like when the lights go out.
The Blabbery ate people, if you weren't aware.
After the third day of no power, I'm on my roof 24/7.
72 hours, gas shortages, people start popping.
No. This is Corn Pop we're talking about. He's out there 20 minutes after the lights go out. He comes back with a body, and his wife says, "I just turned the lights out, bro."
I think in metro areas it might actually be less than 72 hours. I think 48 hours.
No. Not fucking 20 minutes. He comes back and freaking.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, geek?
But that's the thing, where I live at the moment, because I'm moving in next month. But where I live now, like it was very fucking rural. So like, and I'm kind of alone in the middle of the woods. So like when the line would go down, I would be like the fucking last one to get it back, because like they would do everywhere else before they do here.
I'm blessed where I live now currently. The place I'm at is like a block and a half away from the fire department, EMT police station. So I'm part of the grid that's first on because they need it.
Yeah. I'm like 2 blocks from my fire department, as you guys have heard with the freaking sirens all the damn time. There's a window where it's not as serious, but after a certain point, better be ready. And
just so you know, ye old, anyone in the chat, I got plenty of room. The link, I've been trying to share it again. The link's at the tippy top of the comments. Hop in if you guys want. Feel free.
Yeah. On the opposite end from a hospital, and in the block over, people with real money. So I'm on that same thing where people get take care of fast. So I don't work with the power. But we moved in town after giving up trying to find a spot in the middle of fucking nowhere. The year COVID hit. So we moved in town and everything went to shit.
Oh man, that's fucking bad timing, eh?
Dude, story of my life.
Do you want me to try and post it? I have it copied.
Yeah, go ahead, Justin. I appreciate it.
it
Yeah,
will
I've been
work.
trying. I don't know.
Oh, you won't be able to post it. You won't let you post link.
Why not?
Yeah, I'm not admin.
Yeah, you cannot post link in chat. I can. Well, I put it in private chat, and then like a squirrel can copy it from. That's not right. Well,
maybe I don't know.
One of those.
I don't. Yeah, well, I think both of those, but one is gonna say like, oh, you should want to follow the link from, just like go out from YouTube. This kind of be like faggot tree there.
Hey, Mr. Max, what's this massive link you popped in?
We just finished talking about that.
Yeah, it's the same link as it's just the same link as Justin, but Justin like copied a clean link where I copied.
Because that's like crazy long.
Yeah, it's like if you say like it's YouTube redirect because I copied the link from the YouTube chat.
So did I.
Yeah, whatever. But I'll have to go cook, do my meal prep for the week, and then
6 hours.
Oh, it's gonna take me an hour and a half probably.
Yeah, you're gonna make them all at once.
Yeah. My own food for the whole week.
But we'll see you Friday, right?
On Friday, maybe.
The same boat.
What's on Friday?
The live stream.
Oh yeah.
What's up on Friday?
What's up? Hey John, how you
What's
doing?
up, John?
Oh,
All right. Yeah, right.
for some reason I thought today was Friday.
Later, Max. Thanks for coming over, brother. Appreciate it. We'll keep in touch. We'll talk.
I'm sorry, John. You just show up and I leave, but it's just bad timing. So you keep them entertained. Ciao. Take care.
Party on, man.
Later.
I'll still listen while I cook. I'm just gonna won't be here in chat. Take care, guys.
Yeah.
There you go.
But,
thanks, brother.
What's new, John?
Hello. All right. I thought I'd pop in before I did my own stream tonight, so just thought I'd pop in and say hello.
Hello.
Thought I'd bring an English accent and some civility to proceed.
Yes.
I
Well,
thought that was an Australian accent, bro.
Imagine that the English chases off the French. Imagine that.
It's happened many, many times before. Agincourt, Cressy.
And it's not pronounced French, it's pronounced demon.
Demon.
Evil.
So what we
thanks for popping in, bud. Appreciate it.
No worries. No worries.
We're shit talking role playing games.
Absolutely. Well, why not?
And each other in between.
Yeah, isn't that what I do most of the time on my channel as well? Just talking shit about
just random blab.
I want to put in some advanced orders for Friday. Left again, left, and left.
We're gonna die. It's as simple as that. They've already gone the wrong way, so I'm thinking of already stopping that one, saying back to the beginning now. Go the right way this time.
No. Let them die. Half the fun is the death. Okay.
One of these days, I will make note of which choices we've been making on these books, and then when we die, I'll circle like no. So when we go through it again, I'll be like no.
I have done that and still said left.
Are you talking like a choose your own adventure or a video game?
Choose your own
adventure.
I've literally said in chat, we died going this way last time. Left.
Yes.
All right, whatever it is. And then everybody repeat my answer, even though I prefaced it with going this way will kill us.
You should tune in, Shadow. It's a fun show. Friday night, usually reads a choose your own adventure book.
I'm actually in a game on Friday nights.
Well, he goes to the chat and he lets the chat vote and decide which way.
I'm in a game.
Okay, which books are these? Because I have, I think the TSR ones. I could be wrong. Like Pillars of Pentagon or whatever.
I'll show you some of the ones I've run recently.
They're all different kinds, all different manufacturers,
all different sorts. I mean, I've run.
You do it late night, or is it like regular hours?
I've run that, for example.
Okay, never seen that one before.
That's cool.
DMVA's what is it, our time? I'm in Ohio, USA. It's like 4 o'clock in the evening, afternoon.
It's 8 GMT, yeah.
Because it's Halloween month, I'm running House of Hell from the Fighting Fantasy series at the moment.
Okay.
And we recently finished.
We call that October in English.
Well, it's Halloween month.
It's an easy mistake. My son and I, our channel, we milk the whole Halloween thing from the beginning of.
Oh,
never seen that one before either. Holy smokes! Wow,
Yeah,
that's a quickie.
That's a bit.
I actually missed most of that one, I think.
Wow.
We recently managed to successfully finish the Beowulf book, which is from the same publisher as that. That was quite good. So,
yeah, it's fun time. So if you guys can make it, do it. I highly recommend it. It's just fun. And there's not a whole lot of people in chat either. It's not like he's counting 38 to 42. It's more like 9 to 7 at the most.
Yeah,
the most we've ever had is 20-ish.
Our time with the game on that evening. So I get done at 7 p.m., but then I usually do something with the family.
Well, I have to operate on British time, unfortunately. So
yeah, one of the guys is in our group is a Brit too. It's 3 Portuguese and a Brit and me.
Miguel and Sylvia
play early.
Yeah, we always just busting Joe's balls. That's what we do.
I haven't been on their show in forever. I need to go say hi to them. I've just been so freaking busy.
Yeah,
unbelievable. Oh my God, you had a literal beard of smoke. That was freaking awesome. or vapor. I was like,
he loves his vape.
Wait. How did Ungar get back on the show?
I work. That's why I work. It's my work T-shirt. It's my job.
Oh,
you sell vapes?
Yeah,
dude.
Everybody sells vapes, dude. There's
really. I tried doing the vape thing. I just couldn't do it. I roll my own with pipe tobacco. I've been doing that for decades.
I went outside. I went outside after COVID because I did my best to stay inside because I like not going outside. And I was like, there are literally more head shops on the street than there are Starbucks now.
The first thing to close up shop here, where I live, were the gyms, churches, and any health food or vitamin shops. Not only were they closed, but they were emptied the first week. The entire building was empty.
Yeah. And you think those are the things you need to stay healthy.
Right. not even a slight exaggeration. It was crazy.
Ravaged.
Yeah, well, I'm not worried about that. It's just the head shops popping up everywhere, man.
Yeah,
legalized in Kentucky.
We don't actually have a lot of those.
It's federally legal here, man. Federally legal.
Yeah, we really don't actually. Where I live, there isn't even one head shop in the 2 cities that I'm.
Weed dealerships.
Head weed shops.
And it's closely connected to vaping. As you well know.
Yeah, you get your vapes, you get your reefer, you get your screens, your bowls, your pipes.
See, we have. It's not legal over here, so we don't have any of those shops.
We have head shops in Kentucky that. They sell everything except for
you can get your liquid THC and just.
We do have tobacco shops, but we don't have anything. Yeah, I mean they don't carry stuff, but
this is Kentucky. We grow the world's finest weed. What are you talking about? Dude,
yeah, right.
The State Forest is packed full of weed fields, man.
Hey, Dungeon Minister, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, Dungeon Minister. Hey, you can hop on if you want, buddy. The link is very, very tip top of the.
There are major cities.
I got room for more than 6 even.
There are major cities in British Columbia that they estimate 1 in every 5 houses is actually a grow up.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Probably. Hey, whatever.
Vices. Yeah, and then the vices have gotten so much more powerful over the years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's certainly some areas over here. There is quite a lot of illicit growing, but to give you an idea of the area I lived in, it's still a talked about thing that one of the houses over the road from me was raided about 12 years ago and had some plants in that house.
Yeah.
And it's still a big thing. It's still considered to be, that's the drugs house. That's the drugs house from 12 years ago.
Our problem with drugs right now is meth and
Yeah.
But
that stuff is literal poison and vampire powder.
Yeah, up to about 5 years ago, this was a dry county. You couldn't buy alcohol here.
Yeah.
And then within 5 years, we got bars everywhere. And they are pushing, I think, to legalize weed in Kentucky, medical weed. I think
there's no such thing.
Votes, but they're going to push to legalize. But the way Frankfurt does things, this is how state politics in Kentucky works. Until they can put a stranglehold on who makes the money off of it, they will not legalize shit.
Imagine that.
It kicks it down to a county by county level until something is a big money maker, and then they shift it back to Frankfurt and they permit it. Like we're supposed to get riverboat gambling, and then they changed the rules and who got riverboat gambling, and it went back to Louisville and other places because we would have grown. And now we're having to refocus how we're growing our town here, our city, and alcohol and entertainment. We're getting a casino now in the county. So
good, that's revenue.
Wet, and we're getting a fucking casino, and we're getting another pony track, and we missed the opportunity to get a NASCAR track that would have been the only mid track for our region, from like Cleveland, upper Ohio. Ashland, Kentucky, and then you're down to Georgia.
Down to Ashland. Yep. I travel quite a bit for work, so I've been somewhat around
one of those
your
NASCAR
area,
tracks where they don't know how to turn right; they only turn left.
They turn left. Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
I like to see Circle 8 narcoleptic drivers. That'd be hilarious. Bam! But we got some pretty cool small dirt tracks, but they were a lot more
narcoleptic drivers.
Yeah, bandit tracks. But
I love me a bit of I like a bit of motorsport. I mean, I don't mind.
No,
NASCAR stuff. I enjoy it.
You don't mind a little motorsport.
Well, I come from a big long line of bootleggers, so they all ran cars on the side. So that's why we did it.
Okay.
I've still got a competition car, but it hasn't moved for 10 years.
Oh, really?
See, I was the only non-mechanic in my family. I was not really into cars.
My brother was my mechanic, but then he got diagnosed with a rather serious condition, which means he couldn't. He was my navigator as well.
Yeah,
because we did forest rallying, and he was diagnosed. He was diagnosed with hidden spina bifida when he was in his 40s, and he couldn't do any of that anymore.
Wow, sorry about that, man.
It's something we've known. He's not been particularly well for a long time, but he fought through it and he built our car. He was the mechanic, and he's been through forests at 90 miles an hour, through ruts and bumps, and you heard the odd oof, ow from him as you were going through there, but never quite knew what danger he was in.
Oh man,
I've been fascinated by those kind of races, but they're kind of hard to watch. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things you have to. It's really exciting for the guys in it.
Yes.
As a spectator, you see like a caption of it.
Yeah. Well, nowadays maybe they could have it more exciting.
Like
so they could do more cameras and remote
throughout
the track.
There's a few channels that just do the odd sports like that, but they're just inconsistent.
I could see having a tethered drone to each car.
In a forest?
Yeah, but you go around them corners, you go around them bends, and it hits that tree and wraps
if
around.
If it's high enough up and it's got enough.
We had an in-car camera.
In-car camera.
But the problem with those is it actually makes the car look slower than it is.
Moving the same speed.
It really nullifies the feeling of speed. I mean, I'd show footage to my family and say, look, I'm doing 85 miles an hour there. And they'd be looking going, it doesn't look very fast.
It's like in older cars, faster it went, slower you felt like you're going.
But the thing is, 85 miles an hour on a forest track is, you'll be sat there going, ah! But actually, with the camera, it seems to slow it all down.
We drove Humvees through forest at 65, just jumping over stuff, bam, 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 on maneuvers. Yeah, it's quite. Seems a lot faster.
Oh yes,
it seems a lot faster, and it's a lot more violent than just on pavement. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it was the best. I miss that shit. That's fun.
I do as well. I ran out of money. Yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
You didn't win any prizes or nothing?
No, I've got a few trophies.
Oh, yeah. No sponsorships?
No. The only people who get sponsored when I was doing it were the top 10 in the country, and any young women who tried it.
As always.
There's this munchkin in the NASCAR that's like that. She gets a lot of sponsorship because she's the hottest NASCAR driver. She's a 5.
Yeah. There was one girl who raced.
She's a West Virginia 5, acting like she's an Ohio 7.
West Virginia 5.
Acting like she's an Ohio 7.
Before they banned them in European motorsport, she was a grid girl, so she got a lot of attention.
Whatever, though. I mean,
how many tracks are in England though for forest driving?
Holy tons.
Really?
Yeah. So they got a lot of.
A lot of rally, a lot of motorsports. That's cool.
Because I always see that Formula One crap on TV for the Europeans a lot, and a few of the overland stuff. But I never saw anything in the forest.
We've got, Snowdonia in North Wales is a popular region. There's there's South Wales is going through the Brecon Beacons. There's North Somerset.
I was thinking speeders too.
I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna check it and see if I can find any videos on that later. That sounds awesome.
I'm sorry, I'm reading chat.
There's stuff in the Lake District, and probably one of the toughest ones is an area called the Forest of Dean, which is just on the border of Wales.
Yeah,
that was a particularly hairy one to do.
Yeah. So what you want to do is take your video footage from the cockpit and just add, or from the driver's seat, and just add that sound that they have in Star Wars. It'll make things seem so much faster.
You'd be surprised what a good soundtrack does. Something that's just not. I was watching Nosferatu with complete synthwave track, and they put the filters on it. Awesome.
Part of the problem with my car is it's got 50 brake horsepower, standard engine, standard gearbox. That's all.
Yeah.
Because it was cheap to run.
Yeah,
and light.
Yeah, light.
That's
one of
what
the
you
things.
want, right? It's better to have speed through low weight than
good handling through the corners.
than expensive components.
You know it's going to break a lot anyways. While they'll have it cheap to fix.
I took my son to watch one in Wales, and this Subaru Impreza rolled in front of us. Bits came off it. I picked up a piece of the carbon fiber that had broken off the bonnet, turned to my lad and said, "That piece of carbon fiber, that piece of bonnet is worth more than my car in its entirety."
When were the mosquitoes in California?
Mow the lawn. That's what you're there for.
Dig a ditch. Do something. Child labor.
Anyway, I'm not here to talk about motorsport. Here to talk about role-playing games.
Yes. We were just
Remember
talking about. We were going over a little bit about Morkborg a little bit. We were throwing stuff around about the Burning Wheel. How good of a conceptual read it is.
I'm not playing it.
I don't know. No, Morkborg I've played at conventions. It's a great convention game. It's an all-in type of game because you're the world is going to end. So you're not going to I'm going to save all my resources. No.
I really like
do this.
I really like the classes equipment. Because
I happen to have it right here.
You're not worrying
you can
about.
See I don't know if you've seen the cover or not.
I've seen the cover before.
It's well worth the purchase as far as I'm concerned.
You can get it free PDF from their website.
It's just on their website, like the character sheets, the whole game, most of the story and lore. I think the only thing that's not free is the that comes with the book is the adventure module at the back or whatever you call that.
But I mean, as far as
it has a random dungeon generator and all that stuff.
As far as the classes, I'll read at least the name, the title of the class. You could be a fanged deserter, a Gutter-born Scum, Esoteric Hermit,
Yeah, that would be you, Dungeon Minister.
Wretched Royalty, Heretical Priest.
Oh, that one was.
Or the Occult Herb Master.
Herb Master. I think we were talking about those not too long ago.
I've had like three different players over the years who just want to create a cult of Lebowski in my games.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't see playing any one of those.
They're just flavored texts of basically.
All right, here I'll read the thing of the Fang Deserter. Again, it's an all-in. You're having fun going gonzo. You know, stuff's going to end. You have all right. The Fang Deserter. You have 30 or so friends who never let you down. Your teeth. Disloyal, deranged, or simply uncontrollable. Any group that didn't boot you out, you left anyway. But your parliament of teeth, enormous, protruding, thick, and sharp, have always been your allies.
Yeah. It's a biter.
Gutter-born scum. An ill star smiled upon your birth. Poverty, crime, and bad parenting didn't help either. In your community, an honest day's work was never an option. Not that you ever tried. What are you, some kind of mug? A razor blade and a moonless night are worth a week of chumps' work.
Most of the descriptions are like tonal ways to play the game, where
you don't have to.
You actually devise your role through the equipment you select.
Yep.
There are some of those descriptions that prevent you from taking some equipment, but it's not really important.
No.
To the gameplay.
Nope, it isn't. Yeah, you don't have to stick to what I'm reading. You know, it's just again, they're all guidelines, like any role playing game. It's all.
Is it
all guidelines.
Based on the sort of BX sort of engine that most OSR?
Kind of, but not, because there's a lot of D66 rolls, which you use
2d6.
2d6 you use like a percentile.
Yeah.
All right.
And D10s, and then like damage for weapons, D8, D12, D4, D6.
Yeah. But like pretty much all the rules are on that back page by the index, right? So
yeah. This is pretty. Here's pretty much the rules. One page.
Simple then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very simple. Very simple.
Here's a color character sheet. Again, this is like A4, A5 size. Right there, front, no back. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
So you could have, again, it's a good, fun beer and pretzels one shot. You can be ornery with it. Another aspect of the game is it is a player-facing game where all the players make the rolls, or is it the DM makes all the rolls? The players make every roll that's needed. The DM doesn't. The DM says, okay, X monster is attacking you guys, roll. And they roll, and that determines the entire outcome.
I know some people dislike that. I mean, I played at a convention, I played a session of Simba Room, which has the same sort of idea.
Yeah.
And I know people are put off by the fact that players do all the rolls. I was a player, though, so I enjoyed it. But
it has its fun. Yeah, absolutely. Has its merits, especially for convention type stuff.
Yeah.
It works. That's all that matters. It's a game that doesn't break itself with every opportunity, and that's the only thing I ever asked for. Don't become an obstacle to the people at the table telling the story and making some memories.
For me as well. I mean, Gonzo.
What's a player-facing game? I'm totally unfamiliar with that.
The players make all the rolls. The DM just tells the story, it describes the scenes, the plot, what's going on. The players roll the dice. The DM knows the outcome, and the players usually do because they know the rules. And then it's described from then on. Like, if the players know that their attack roll hits the monster and does X amount of damage, you don't have to, but it's encouraged. The player describes that damage. If not, the DM describes that damage. Like any other role,
Yeah,
You play
the
an
actual
AD&D.
role playing.
Yeah, you're playing AD&D and you roll and THACO this, that. Well, your saber barely hits the throat and causes 2 points of damage. You know, you
And
can,
if the
same
rules are
concept.
simply, and they suit like a gonzo sort of style, that again affirms it as a convention type of game. Because personally, I enjoy a gonzo game for one session, but running a campaign of daftness.
No, the world's
not
ending,
a campaign.
so.
Yeah, the world in the rules, the world is designed after every session. The DM rolls to see when and how many more sessions, so to say, the world will end.
Well,
like it's over.
Sessions
It's
are
over.
like mini adventures or
Adventures,
whatever,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's over. There's a fun description in this book I was just reading. It's about, they call them the Psalms, like biblical Psalms. Where is it? Okay, here we go. All right, 7-7. The seventh misery will always be 7-7, and the world finally dies. The seventh seal is broken for the seventh and final time. The game and your lives end here. Burn the book.
Yeah, don't actually burn your book.
Yeah, no, but but it's part of the fun of like, hey, it's over.
It's over, guys.
We had fun. That's part of the allure of it's an all-in game. Like, I'm not saving anything because it's
burn your character sheets.
Point. Yeah,
give you everything now because there might not be a tomorrow.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's literally
can make
an
it very fun. Can make it very fun for a 1-shot, 2-shot, 3, whatever the adventure is.
And I gave a quick way on if you wanted to prolong it earlier, where like if everybody in your party survives, because it's got a high turnover in character rates.
Oh, big time.
But if your entire party survives to the end of an adventure, instead of adding a psalm, take one away. Right? You could do that if you want to have a joyous outcome to the story. I don't know why you would.
No, because the world is horrible and nasty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
And you guys wonder why I like making worlds as opposed to making rules.
But the rule system is very light and flexible. You can strip that off. There are literally dozens of like Pirate Borg. You should look up Pirate Borg.
There's so many different Borgs, so many iterations of Mork Borg. That's really neat.
Borg.
Yes, the Borg. Even though it's not Star Trek.
Star Dork.
Yes.
Now, I would love to see a Star Borg.
Yeah.
Nobody's done that yet that I've seen.
I'm sure someone will.
That would be a good. One of you weirdos get to writing that.
Given it's got Borg in its title, it ought to be, wouldn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
You would think.
The license is pretty open, so. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a neat one. It's a neat one.
It is.
And then Max and I, we were talking about the Burning Wheel.
Mm-hmm. The general consensus is don't play it.
It's a game. It's a game that people that have read love it, but nobody's really played it.
Yeah.
That's the game that was written by that guy who got himself in trouble on the internet, wasn't it?
No, Adam Coble or whatever. No, he did not write that. He was a friend of the guy that wrote Burning Wheel.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
I thought he was involved in writing it, but
okay. No, he might have had a
supplement or something.
Maybe, but yeah, he did that Coble guy or Cobel or whatever. He did Dungeon World or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, that weirdo. But he was friends, probably still is, with Luke Crane, whatever, that did Burning Wheel.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a game that it's worth the read. A lot of concepts.
Yeah.
It's another one that's passed me by. So many things have passed me by. I wasn't even the hobby from 1992 until 2012, so everything happened between then passed me by. So
I quit playing for a long time and started
2009 too, just before I started hanging out with James on his stream.
I like what I'm playing, and that's usually all I pay attention to. And anything else beyond that, I usually not pay much attention to it.
Yeah, I hear you.
Over the years
Yeah.
that you've been super excited about, you couldn't get people to play, or it's a fad, and it seems like wasted time.
Yeah.
It's like Star Frontiers. Got so excited for Star Frontiers, no one play it.
Really, that's a cool game.
I don't get that, man. Like, if somebody asks me to sit at their table, I'm like, give me a crash course in the game, and sure. Like, not playing a game is always worse than playing it.
If it's a fantasy or horror game, then I generally will. But if it's I have no interest in sci-fi, so it's a sci-fi game. I'm like,
weirdo.
Guys, go ahead.
Yeah,
weirdo.
It depends. If the game strikes my interest, sure, I'll sit down and jam. But some don't, and I just, I'll be taking up table space to people that want to play.
Yeah, my preferred thing is fantasy RPGs. But I enjoy a good sci-fi once in a while. Yeah. But I think it's hard to capture the future, really.
Thanks, Jackal.
Especially how much I dislike our modern dystopia. I couldn't imagine having more technology shoved in your face. I just couldn't. It'll only get worse, right?
I think it depends on the vibe you're going for. Obviously, if you're going cyberpunk,
Blade Runner, yeah. Blade Runner.
I consider that cyberpunk. So yeah. That unquestionably is a key part of the genre. You're talking more interpersonal consequences to humanity in that kind of story, or if you're talking like Star Trek, it's more about the exploration than the tools you're using.
Yeah, seafaring the stars.
Yeah.
Letting your libido run across the universe. There is only Kirk.
I will boldly go where every silicon-based life form can me.
I will boldly go where a lot of guys want to. But
there is only Shatner. I'm a original series guy. Everybody else is
I am more of a
I'm like,
Picard guy myself. But
yeah, no.
I like being bald. Look at my luscious head of hair. I one day long for
I recently rewatched the entire Next Generation. I recently watched all of the Next Generation, and I'm like, what was I must have been completely brain dead when it first ran because I absolutely despised it.
It's a whole bunch of lefty talking
series, and you'll see that the plot points and stuff stand the time, and Next Generation seem pushed.
Yeah, that whole episode where they had to suddenly go back to not exceeding warp 5.5 just as they were trying to do the speed limit thing here. I'm just like, you've got to be freaking kidding me.
I went back recently and tried to watch a bunch of old sci-fi and was like, how did anybody like this? Like Space 1999. I tried to watch that, and I was almost. It was like punishment. I was punishing.
Shoot me now.
You know what though? I did love Blake 7. I watched that this last year and freaking loved Blake 7.
Blake 7. Yeah.
Space 1999 I couldn't get past the first episode. I'm like, yeah, I literally felt like this was homework or something.
And UFO was like that too. It was another one pretty dry. Oh.
Yeah.
You want?
Same here, John. Some of it I get.
I remember Blake 7 being on the telly over here. It was just another TV show that I ignored.
Some of it
really, I think you'd actually like it because it's got a very, believe it or not, it's got the costumes are all taken from some Shakespearean opera house. Just it was just wacky.
It was the BBC.
Evil looking costume in this freaking spaceship. It was definitely enjoyable.
It will be the future. Everything's going to be shiny.
Yes. Shiny.
Sci-fi just never really grabbed me. Most, I mean, I tried. I did watch a few things.
Where did the ray gun touch you, Yield Geek?
You were abducted, weren't you?
On my scalp. That's why I have no hair. That's why I'm
Yeah.
bitter.
Yeah, sci-fi
See,
for me is kind of
Oh,
See, growing up as a kid, I didn't even know fantasy existed until I'd already, plunged all the depths of sci-fi. Doc Savage, The Shadow, The Pulps, obviously Star Trek, Planet of the Apes. That's all there was for an imaginative youngster, back in the 70s and 80s. It wasn't until, I hit middle school that I even knew that fantasy was a thing, other than like, Robin Hood and King Arthur. And that was like, I grew up in a gun family. My dad had a gun shop. We were always around guns. So guns that did even crazier things were like, oh, okay, I want to see that,
yeah,
I want
that's cool. That's cool. Yep.
and missile launchers and stuff like that, as opposed to swinging around a sword just to have some guy like Indiana Jones just pull out a revolver and toast the guy.
See, we're similar ages. I mean, when I was learning very rudimentary history at school, it was
this is technically a different stream.
It was the pictures of big battles in the Middle Ages that drew me in when I was like 7 or 8 years old. And I remember
go to the top of the comments.
And I remember borrowing a copy of The Hobbit from the school library when I was 8 and reading it because it was in the school library. And I'm from Birmingham, which is where Tolkien lived and wrote much of his life.
I think it's in most school libraries.
My first school library.
We've got all the castles over here and all the legends.
That makes total sense then.
My dad was Robin Hood. They're our legends.
My dad was a big WW2 fan, and the first sci-fi book I ever read from the school library, mind you, I read tons of Doc Savage and things like that, was Starship Troopers. From that point on, it was, but mind you, I played Dungeons and Dragons for the first 20 years of my role-playing, experience. I mean, I did play some Traveler, Star Frontiers, Gamma World, but my group was D&D until we picked up Radium's fantasy role-playing game and Riffs, and then they're like, oh, wow, these characters are, better or whatever, So we slowly worked that into the rotation. But over here, fantasy was like kind of
in high
really
school
at all.
In high school, I casually sat in on a Riffs game being played at my local game store, but I couldn't tell you a thing about it.
I wasn't a big fan of the Rift's Earth. I turned it into just a completely different planet, making it a lot easier for me to deal with.
That's the only sci-fi game I'll play.
That's a good one.
Man.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Keep your laser handy, buddy.
And that's because it's silly. It is very silly. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah. It's one shot. It's one shot material.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Take care, Dungeon Minister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take care, DM. Minister.
Yeah, I did see the Hobbit cartoon, but I think it was again middle school, and I'd already been, reared on Planet of the Apes and Logan's Run and Soylent Green, Silent Running. My dad had me watch
fantasy. There was more sci-fi, science fiction on TV in the 70s, early 80s than there was.
Oh, absolutely.
Fantasy sort of.
There still is.
Yeah.
Like there's always been more sci-fi on television than fantasy.
Which is weird how fantasy, gets the lion's share of the market when science fiction and believe it or not, superhero movies are more, relatable to the common man on Earth right now. It's kind of a weird dichotomy.
I don't think they're more relatable. I think they're just pushed on us more.
Well, I mean, you're talking about, characters in New York City or something like that. You see
that's
the building.
Location. That's not
like John was talking about. You're more familiar with things that are nearby. So I could for me it makes more sense.
I can see that.
I've got Warwick Castle within an hour from me. I went to the same school as Tolkien. I mean, it's
not to mention I live about an hour away from the famous location where the Gorn battle between Kirk and the Gorn was. I'm like an hour from that.
You should
of
go
course,
there sometime and film.
Yeah, I know. I should.
Throw some styrofoam rocks at each other.
Yeah, take a couple of styrofoam walks with you, and you and Jackie can throw them at each other.
Yeah, that could be fun.
First,
I have to have him watch that episode so he knows why we're going out there. And I don't actually own any Star Trek.
If you were to have a lightsaber fight with your son, who would win?
Well, that's a toughie. He's taking fencing right now.
Well,
not
even that. Like, Jackie wouldn't use a lightsaber; he'd use a lawnmower.
No, he's actually got a French fencing foil here in the house.
He would run you over with the riding mower, man. And he'd be like, and then you'd be like the witch at the beginning of Wizard of Oz, but under a lawnmower.
The feet
just curl.
Nah, I just pull out a pellet gun and nail him.
Yeah. Ow.
I'm gonna have to drop off anyway because I've got to get my own stream sorted out.
Yeah, I got to hit the road too.
Together,
Zorro. No, maybe, but this old man still has a few tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah.
Cheers, Squirrel. Thanks
for having me on. Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
thanks for having you on.
This water is potent, I'm telling you. East Palestine, look out.
We're planning another drinking quest game soon, so you'll have first refusal as always.
Oh yeah. That'll be fun. That was fun last time.
It was indeed, yes. Anyway, cheers, fellas. Nice to see you all.
Party on, man.
Thanks for being here.
Take care, John. I've got to hit the road as well. I've been streaming for most of the day, and I got to do some actual things. Sorry, guys.
Well, take care of stuff, Shadow. Thanks for having me on.
And right back at you, brother. Hopefully, you guys will all have a great day. I'm going to be on Table Breakers tonight, talking about ghosts and ghouls and zombies. Not Table Breakers, Gatekeepers, about 5:30 California time. So check it out if you get a chance. The same bozos talking about the typical Halloween stuff before the month is over. But if I don't see you guys tonight, I will see you tomorrow, the next day, something like that. Cheers and happy trails, guys.
Yep. Thanks for being here, brother.
My pleasure.
Okay. See you later, man. Okay. Are we wrapping up or?
Yeah, we may as well. It's been a good hour and a half. Yeah, why not? We got other stuff to do.
This is the first day of the week I felt like speaking out loud. I've had coof.
Coof?
Oof.
COVID again.
Sorry about that, bro.
Is what it is.
I hope you get your sense of taste back quickly.
Yeah, at least you're getting over it and getting along, so that's good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I just feel like shit.
Yeah.
Deja vu.
You'll shake it off, though, brother. I got faith.
Yeah, go listen to some Taylor Swift.
No,
it'll make you feel better.
Yeah, you'll vomit. You'll purge yourself of even more germs.
You'll shake it off.
Actually, I was just listening to Sisters of Mercy, of all things, earlier.
Oh, really?
Sisters of Mercy? That's good.
Not too shabby.
For Meatloaf.
Meatloaf. Dude, I have a wide taste in music compared to when I was younger.
Yeah, my taste is kind of evolved, grown, or whatever since I was a wee lad.
Yeah. I can go for some Meatloaf now. Fuck.
I know, right?
I got steak that's been marinating. I was timing it. I was like, I want that marinade for at least 24 hours.
That's,
yeah.
That's your high class meatloaf there.
High class meatloaf.
Yeah. It's all fancy and made out of the same piece of meat.
Your bourgeois meatloaf. Yeah.
I put lighter in my food last time. It's pretty good.
Well, we're foodies over here, DMBAs, but we're foodies. Ooh, man, do we?
I like to cook. I like to play. I thought on that conservatorium Discord, I throw in all my recipes in there all the time.
Okay, there you go. We're Zadarok and myself. That's the missus. We are on what's his Discord? GM's Alcove. DM Fritz. We're on his Discord. He's got a thing called homesteading.
Yeah.
Recipes, food picks galore. Oh,
that sounds good.
We just had what did we have yesterday? Day before yesterday, we had lamb chops, braised in garlic and butter with rosemary, mint jelly, asparagus.
I'm not a super fan of rosemary, but
rosemary just a little bit, dude. On
it's a subtle hint.
Yep, that's what we did. Just a little. We did that.
Okay.
Yeah, I grow it.
Got all kinds of food stuff.
Fresh. I can just walk outside and snip it, rinse it.
That's good. Yeah, you should always have your chia pet garden of herbs. They used to have an herb pack, right?
Yep, they did. I'm sure they still do.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah. Keep them on the window ledge. Very easy to grow.
We're going to expand a little bit this year, I think.
Yeah. Carrots.
I got these Japanese ones.
Actually, what you got?
Shit. I got frustration. That's what I got.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're out there and you got kids, like young kids, get them the Chia Pet herb garden.
Rodo, the Japanese carrots. They're thick and fat. So they don't go down as thick and deep. They go down short, but they're
like a radish.
They're not that big, but yeah, they're big. Yeah, and they don't, and they're very hardy. So I get like an extra thing out of them a year.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I was saying, if you got kids out there, if you're watching this in the future, get them the Chia Pet herbs. That way they know good food at a young age. They can put that shit on their food from a young age, and they'll know how to grow the shit and maintain the stuff.
I got my granddaughter.
It'll be a fundamental skill, right?
She knows what Red 40 and high fructose corn. She picks it out and goes, "Can't have that.
No
bio. You know?
No.
But ask her, what you eat the Red 40? She goes, that's petroleum."
Unfortunately, 90% of what we consume is petroleum in this modern day and age.
Yeah.
Hell, 90% of our pharmaceuticals is petroleum byproduct.
We were considering maybe going on the carnivore diet for a while, doing nothing but meat and protein for a while.
I did actually the keto diet.
Yeah, which is low carb.
And it was
30 carbs per day.
Yeah,
like that.
barely any carbs, barely any sugar, just enough carbs and sugar. Well, they're both carbs to keep your brain from like really crashing.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I lost like 20 pounds in a month, which I needed to lose.
Yeah.
And I actually felt pretty good. I really did. And then I was using that as a stepping stone to get into more of an Atkins, including a little more carbs, a little more veg. And it's not bad. Worked for me.
Yeah. We were thinking about it. She keeps watching the videos, and I'm like, all meat, maybe a potato once in a while, I'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, no, and with the keto, you want like whole milk, butter, cream. Like you can eat that rich food and the fats, because from what I understand, it flips your metabolism and you burn all that stored carb fat
really quick.
Yes. And you should transition.
I did that while fasting on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I lost a shit ton of weight, but I gained it all back because I went off the diet.
Yeah, it's one of those if you go off it.
Yeah, well, I went off of it, and I went off it hard. But no, you make your daily carb count of 30 carbs with like 7 French fries.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, so
I don't count anything. See, the wife, she counts carbs. She's got carb issues. I have salt issue, and I just simply eliminated high fructose corn syrup, non-organic, maybe bioengineered stuff, and start attacking all the processed and seed oil stuff to kind of limit it. And I just eat less and less. I eat twice a day, and the salt has been a major thing for me. I got CHF, so that if I get too much salt, I start retaining water, and it starts.
Oh, yeah.
I swell up and die.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you.
Kinda
Yeah,
like,
we
what's his name from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? The blueberry kid.
It's
yeah,
that was the chick. It was the blueberry girl.
yes, we're getting away from more and more of the highly processed foods and whatnot.
Yeah, I think everything. I think all your modern allergies and stuff like that are all side effects of the food we eat.
Another thing for allergies, not food allergies, but like local allergies or seasonal allergies. They say I can swear by it, attest to it. Local honey, unpasteurized local honey.
Yeah.
It helps mitigate any seasonal allergies
because you're pulling in refined pollens from your area.
Yep.
Your own area.
Yeah.
We get the local honey. We make hot honey, and we use that on a lot of stuff we cook.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rub that through the peppers, man. You gotta have some heat in there.
If I had the, if I had the
spice,
life is the spice.
Yeah. Like being your own apiary would be good. Having your own beehive.
I know. You're limited by 3 in town, and there's still liabilities. So I can have 3 beehives inside the county, but the municipality, they have different rules about.
Well, you only need 1.
Yeah,
really.
Well, personally, but still, yeah, there's all kinds of.
Yeah, I already checked on the restrictions and stuff. But the fact that there's restrictions.
Why would there? Why? Like
government?
What? Somebody might get stung by a bee. Like,
listen, I guess you could say I believe in small local governments. They outlast larger governments. I believe that. I feel that. I mean, but it's still red tape, and it can still cause headaches.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's like
Kentucky's real homestead friendly and stuff, but that goes by county. So the majority of counties, once you're outside city limits, do what the fuck you want. Don't matter. Yep. If you're in the city limits, right there.
Rules, money.
Can't do anything with this building next door to me, man. And I'm like, dude, that's a violation. None of this is the code, and you're going to yell at me about a car with a busted fender I had in the alley. Get your priorities straight. That building's going to burn down.
Exactly. And a busted fender don't keep the car from getting me back
and forth to work to pay my taxes. Yeah. It was an eyesore, and that was a landlord next door. So that's got lots of taxable income as opposed to a residence where they don't have as much taxable income. I guess.
Yeah.
So. They love the renters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bust your balls if you own stuff.
Oh yeah.
Which is the opposite of the way it should be.
I know, right?
Absolutely.
Back when you were only taxed on purchases,
back before the amendment in 1913, 1916.
Well, I'm in Kanakistan. Before the war, our taxes were on import goods only.
So was America's.
So was America before what? 1913, 1916, something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, 1916 because it was post First World War.
Yes.
No,
because it was about to pay for the war debt. Which
we had roads, we had railroads, we had all that fun stuff without any damn taxes.
Right.
Like that. We had state lotteries, we had all kinds of different things that the citizens could put money towards, and we chose what we wanted by paying into that.
Yeah.
And that's what we got out of it. And if we didn't like our roads, well, guess what? You buy state lottery tickets.
Yep.
That the money goes towards road improvement. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the winner won a few $1,000s and a few million.
Yeah, but the point, and the point
and
was,
the majority of it went to actually improving everyone's.
The more money that flows into Washington, the more corruption it creates.
Well, it's not just Washington, like
state level too, but
state government, even
nation is federal government,
even unaccountable local government, because
all the little
that's been caught up in
shit in the past. When they tax or fee anything, that is passed on to everyone else, and because they create all that, they're the highest. They're the reason the money's up. That is But hey, we find money to give away to foreign countries left and right.
Yeah.
Sure, that's what we seem to be
Oh,
doing.
fuck. You'll even orchestrate problems in foreign countries to give them money.
Well, that's what we seem to be doing.
Yeah, well, you are your government.
I am.
I'm sorry to say that.
Punishment.
Yeah.
It seems to be the case.
If I was the Emperor of Mars,
yeah,
it would be a war against the civilians of America, not the. Because
a lot of people in the
you
world
probably make a lot of money off of it because America would probably be funding it anyways.
We don't discover life on Mars. We send them more money. The taxes go up.
That's what I mean.
I'm just saying, the second CNN says something bad about my fictional Martian empire, I would consider that a declaration of war by your government.
So freedom bombs. I mean, Palestinians, they burn down McDonald's, man. That's an affront to culture.
Yeah. Yeah. Heaven forbid.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, I stand with Palestine.
East Palestine, Ohio.
Yeah,
both. I stand with
clean drinking water.
That place, bro.
What?
They've already forgot about East Palestine, Ohio.
I know. Yeah. Which they kind of should.
I'm just saying.
Which they kind of should, because it wasn't as big of a deal. Yes, it's horrible. It was a mess. It still is. But I live here. I mean it.
That's a lot of toxins. I live right next to Ohio River.
Yeah. Hey, me too, sort of.
Yeah. So it's like, but they've always dumped toxins into Ohio.
Yeah, for a long time. This spill was horrible. It could have been avoided. It was found that it could have been avoided 100%.
Yes.
So they should pay. They should clean up. They should move the fuck on and get out of here.
But they're going to get a blank pass because they own their politicians.
Hello.
So you're not even going to get the
demographic in East Palestine.
Sure. You're required to pay.
The thing is, East Palestine because it's not the right demographic anymore.
Yeah, and the fact that your governor wouldn't even fill out the paperwork to get the insurance, the federal insurance you are forced to pay for at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Don't forget, the United States is the only country on the planet that has prison sentences for tax evasion.
Yeah. Even though debtor prisons are technically illegal.
Yeah.
We outlawed them. But you can go to jail you can't put someone in jail for owing you money, but the government can put you in jail if you owe them money.
Yes, but what's weird is the IRS isn't even a government. It's totally separate.
It's
so how the frick does that work?
To be abolished.
It's a separate institution. Wink, wink.
Got sold out, man. They sold us out.
Yep.
We've been converted to chattel.
Well,
it can get a lot worse where it gets better.
Yeah, a lot worse.
Oh, sure.
You can go to.
Yeah, then you end up yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's child support. That's not the same thing as your taxes, bro.
Yeah, jail, go to child support. Actually, there's a lot of people that should be in jail for
that's
not
paying.
paying.
That's a failed obligation.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I would personally classify alimony as slave labor.
Technically, yeah. I think once you get rid of all that crap, you would see divorce rates decrease. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I don't think
feminism destroyed the modern society. Anyways,
we should wrap up.
Big time. Love you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna take off here before I'm completely banned and not shadow.
Get on some lists with us,
You're
man.
not shadow banned.
Thanks for stopping by, Bye-bye. Appreciate it.
It's a dead building.
Yes, Beelzebub. Actually, we had a buddy of mine we grew up with. He was an older fella. We always called him Beelzebub.
Beelzebub.
Yeah, that or old leather too. That's a whole different story. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Justin. Thanks for stopping by, DM Beelzebub, and we'll keep in touch via the TubeYube, and hopefully we'll see each other again somewhere somehow.
Most definitely, bro. Most definitely.
All right, love you guys.
Bye.